technology paradox is sometimes the technology designed to do something actually has the unintended consequence of doing the opposite. I'm sure everyone in this room knows about social media and Facebook now. We call it social media. It has absolutely proven over the last 10 years that it has made everyone less social, and it has made everyone less happy. So something that was designed to create more connections had the opposite effect of what we wanted. When we're thinking about these technologies, we have a new Sandler rule. It's that only leverage technology to increase the engagement of the human-to-human communication throughout the sales process. That's in that new book that Barkley talks so much about, the How to Sell to the Modern Buyer. What can we do about it? Here are a few things that I think. When we're talking about humanizing our sale and our technology, AI can tell a story, but it can't tell our story. It can't tell the buyer you're sitting across from story because it doesn't have the situational context. So when we're looking at AI and sales technology, what happens if you ask AI to write a Sandler 30-second commercial for your company? It scours the internet, it takes the average information, and it takes the most probable answer to that question. So if we ask the technology to look at all the data and write the most average 30-second commercial that we could that would be acceptable, that's what happens right now. Do you know what the stats are for the average salesperson? 53% of salespeople in America do not make quota. Your AI is going to write a 30-second commercial that will not hit quota if we take the average. But what we can do is we can add some prompts to it, we can humanize that, and we can have our sellers customize that 30-second commercial for the buyer that's across the other side of the table. And if we can tell that buyer's story better than they can tell it themselves, we get up to an 80–90% chance of hitting our quota and making our sales. That's the emotional intelligence. AI can't empathize or understand the intricacies of human emotion. AI also doesn't know pattern interrupts. That's a great Sandler technique to change the game and to change the conversation, be disarmingly honest and lower emotional walls. AI doesn't know when to break the rules because, again, we're working with probabilities. And human beings have a really hard time with probability. Right? Most of us think that we can still win the lottery, even though there's a greater chance of us being eaten alive by a wild animal than hitting the Powerball numbers. Reading the room is the other thing. We've already kind of talked about this a little bit, but what we need to do is make sure that we as the leaders are reading our teams, and we as the leaders are preaching to our salespeople that they need to have the situational context. AI can predict what will happen in most cases, but in any one individual case, any one individual conversation, we can't solve for that. There's too many variables. We need a human being to do that kind of processing.